Is it a good idea to have good cop, bad cop? And that's where my husband and I were asking each other, do you like the house? Oh, yes, you like the house, and I'll not like the house. And that way it doesn't oversell us so that we get too much of a high pressured sales pitch. Is it good or bad to play good cop, bad cop? What's the philosophy on that?
I guess I could speak to that. Absolutely. When it comes to someone's buying needs and wants, our job is to try to help you through those obstacles and
Uh-huh.
what really is in your best interest. We are not trying to sell you on something that you don't want. In fact, we're not trying to sell you at all. My
Uh-huh.
job is to help you get to your destination in the safest way possible
Uh-huh.
with using the least amount of resource for you.
Mhm.
And so if you come in good cop, bad cop, all it's going to do is hurt the process for you.
Mhm.
Because again, I'm not going to try to sell you on this house.
Mhm.
What is going on in your lifestyle? What's the proximity to work? What's going on with your family? Do you want to be close to relatives? There's a lot of questions that I need to know to figure out what is in your best interest and how best I can help you. It's
Mhm.
not, hey, let me try to sell you on this home because this house is for sale.
Mhm.
If this home works for you and your lifestyle, I would love to help you get it, and I can help you get it. If it's not, we can help you with the right solution and help you get something that works best for you.
The house sells itself. Like, our job isn't to talk you into buying a house. All of the things that he just said. I mean, there's no reason under the sun to play good cop, bad cop.
If you feel like you are being sold, that you might need to take a look at that relationship.
Yes.
I liken it a lot to doctors. If you go to a doctor and you're just, you've gone to the office a few times and the staff doesn't seem very friendly, your doctor doesn't have good bedside manner, there's nothing to say that you have to go back to that doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe choose a different one that you resonate better with.
Is he hearing you? Is he answering your questions? Do you resonate well together?
Something that Regina and I have found working together is oftentimes we'll have a client that just doesn't, you know, get along or the rapport just isn't there with one of us, but they get along really well with the other person.
Mm.
And so one of us will just step back and say, hey, that's totally okay. Let's see if you work better with someone else. And I can't tell you the amount of clients that we have just that didn't get along with either one of our personalities. And we cut those people very quickly.
Mhm.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's go with your gut.
Yeah, it
It's
needs
a
to be a
very
good working relationship. I mean, this is a really huge financial purchase, and you need to be working with somebody that you feel good about and you feel like you can trust and connect with and communicate well.
I'm going to
you're
throw a monkey wrench at you because we did play good cop, bad cop this whole weekend. And it wasn't to screw with the realtor as much as it was to me to find out where my husband was in the buying process
Mhm.
because I know for a fact he wants to retire in the villages. Okay. On numerous occasions, he's mentioned that. He's taken me to the villages at least a dozen times over the last 10 years to look for homes. And we've gone and looked at homes every time we've gone. And so before we got out of the car, I said, how interested on a scale of 1 to 10 are you in closing on a house today? If I was in a position today to buy a house, are you willing to sit down and start the process today? And I wanted to find out because if I get inside and he starts showing all of these buying signals, if we're not going to buy today and they close at 5, I don't want to keep somebody there till 7 to screw around with the realtor because he's really interested. I really want to know if you're not going to buy today. I need to give buying signals that are like, hey, we're just looking. And I need to be the bad cop that kind of backs us out of there so that we can let people get home at a reasonable hour.
Well, and piggybacking on that, not necessarily with your time frame, but when you started this conversation, you said good cop, bad cop, how you feel about the house. And very often people go into a home buying situation and it becomes very emotional.
Mhm.
They fall in love with the house. And so it is good to have that back and forth of, yeah, that's great, but what about this?
Right.
So to have that back
Well,
and forth, if it's with somebody that you're home shopping with, or if it's just, a set of criteria that you have in mind for a house that you're not just making an emotional decision, that you're making a pragmatic decision as well.
So here's an example. If I move my camera here, you can see that the screen behind me is actually a screen. It's not a green screen. It's an actual 10-foot by 8-foot screen. And so as we've gone looking for homes, I need a flat wall that is 10 feet by 8 feet, at least if I'm going to put my screens behind me for my filming. And so as we were going into homes, Pat, my husband, would say, oh, look, there's a wall that would fit your big backdrop. And the realtor's like, backdrops, tell me about the backdrops. Well, that to me is a buying signal, right? And so
Yeah.
then I would have to say, so thank you for bringing that up. I'll keep that in mind. But I'm like trying to, if we're not going to close today, don't keep giving clues that, oh, yes, this will fit my backdrop. And oh, yes, I can put my cameras over here. The light will come in through that window. You know what I mean? Don't sell me on it if you're not, in fact, going to try to buy it today, because I can turn around and I can sell myself all day on it if today's the right day.